1800s, one of the first settlers of the Galapagos Islands was a businessman by the name of Don Antonio Gil. He was the quintessential patriarch. He was an alpha male. He got things done, and he made the impossible happen on the islands. But one of the lesser-known facts about Antonio is that he single-handedly decimated countless species on the island, species that you and I will never know, thanks to one dude. I am the great-great-grandniece of Antonio Gil. And like my uncle, when I was 21, I started a company, and I made every possible ridiculous mistake that a 21-year-old can make in a business, which in the 1990s, as you all know, was kind of the perfect formula for getting money and opportunities thrown your way. So I made a career out of making companies big and taking them international. And what came to be known for my Midas touch was probably a little more familiar to, or a little more similar to, an iron fist. Until one day, a gentleman made the mistake of calling in sick on me. I was under a lot of pressure. My reputation was on the line and a lot of money. And he called in sick on the wrong day. Naturally, I sent a car to his home with strict instructions to bring him into the office. They brought him in, and the following day he called in sick again, this time from the hospital with heart problems. Yeah, I was making fun of Homie for killing animals in the Galapagos Islands. From that day forward, I made a decision to find a different way to do business, something that tapped into some of the matriarchal juju and maybe a little less of the patriarchal. I can't even pretend to say that I am fully out of that phase, but I can tell you that I've learned a lot. And the first thing that I learned is that slow is actually efficient. There's a company, an organization that's been around for about 30 years off the coast of Seattle. It's called Hedgerook, and it's an organization dedicated to helping women writers. And they count on the support of women writers like Gloria Steinem, Alice Walker, Eve Ensler. And they have an incubation period for their business ideas of months. In one case, I think a year and a half. And their track record on whenever they're good and ready to launch their business ideas is 100%. How many companies count on track records like that? The second thing that I learned is that freedom is actually profitable. There is a woman by the name of Carol Hyatt. She started the Leadership Forum, and she's been on Oprah a couple times. In the 60s, she started an organization that was dedicated to marketing for women at a time when there was no market research being done. And she had clients like Coca-Cola and Procter & Gamble. And they had an organization that it allowed job sharing. They had an organization that allowed children to come into the office after work. They were able to work remotely. And in the summer, they even employed kids. The company existed and thrived for 20 years and only stopped existing when it was acquired by an organization that decided on the first day of the new regime to install a time clock. These ideas are not new. They've been around for a long time. The only thing that's different is that we're open to them. 75% of all consumers say that they would switch brands for a good cause. 95% of all consumers now say that they believe that businesses exist for more than just making money. So I predict a future where business schools will actually teach matriarchal business principles right alongside everything else that they teach. And I predict that we are going to figure out a way to actually enforce this idea that businesses have to be humane and that they have to deal with more than just their profit health, but their people health and their planet health as well. And I predict that more and more people like me, who are seasoned, old-school business people who have been doing things a certain way, are going to call bullshit on this current model. And more people like me are going to make a commitment like I have to make this ridiculousness stop right here, right now, with me. And I'm way early. I didn't imagine that was going to happen.